Philip Jordan, welcome. In addition to being deputy chair of the Cheltenham Improvement District, you also wear many hats as like the director of Under the Proms and the Cocoa nightclubs. You're also the chair of Night Safe in Cheltenham, so you really know the nighttime economy around here. Many retail establishments opened as of 23rd of June, and the hospitality sector is due to open on the 4th of July, Britain's so-called Independence Day. Are we ready for all this?
Morning, Dan. Well, I think there are a lot of businesses that will be ready. I think a lot of the hospitality businesses that trade more as restaurants and have been doing a sterling job with their takeaway trade. I think they'll be a little bit more prepared. Perhaps more of the bars and clubs. Obviously, clubs aren't allowed to open specifically, but bars that I think will probably delay their openings to factor in a lot of ambiguity in the different parameters that have been set out by the government, and they're understandable parameters because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment.
Right. And what percentage then can or will open, and what will be the challenges for them?
I think that's very difficult to say, the percentages. I know a lot of venues that aren't going to open. I think a lot of the consumers will think that everywhere will be open. I think there are a lot that are concerned about not knowing exactly what should be done. There hasn't been very clear guidelines in terms of the environmental health officers. That's not their fault. I think no one knows. There's a lot to do with shielding and protecting and screening in these situations, but knowing exactly how to do it in a way that's cost effective and that maintains safety is another thing that may put some people off. I know that we aren't opening either of our venues. We want to see how things pan out and wait to see what the changes are in legislation moving forward. But there are some excellent operators in Cheltenham. I'm sure they'll be able to manage the situation well.
What do you think a second wave will do to the daytime and nighttime trading in the town center?
Yeah, I think that would be quite a catastrophic occurrence if that did materialize. I hope it doesn't. I sincerely don't. I think there are a lot of businesses that have been able to manipulate their trade to better serve takeaway. A lot more have worked on their online presence as well. But with creditors, particularly landlords needing their rent money and leases not being able to change to not incorporate that, I think the businesses that have been able to sustain themselves to agree maybe payment holidays or deferments will really struggle if that period extends. I think for a lot of businesses that I've spoken to in the late night industry, they are hoping that things are back to normal, the normal that we knew in September.
Okay. And what would you like to see from the Cheltenham Borough Council or central government more than what they've done so far?
Personally, I think the government and the council have done some incredible things. I think the funding that we've received and how quickly we've been able to, get that funding. I know a lot of businesses that have benefited with grants and then loans too. I think the systems that have been in place for the employed and self-employed via furlough and receipt of payments via their self-employed method has been really, really good. I think it's very difficult to ask for more because where does that money come from? I suppose from my perspective, I get a lot of licensed trading businesses that contact me about what they think is and isn't fair. And I know that a government directive currently stipulates that any licenses that are due for renewal have to be paid now or would have had to be paid during lockdown. And the licensing period will start for a year from the date of when the license ceased and was renewed. A lot of businesses are hoping that a change will be made, that the payment won't be due until they are able to open, and then the payment period will encompass that year from when they do open.
Okay. So wrapping up, what would your message be to retail shoppers and hospitality customers over the next 3 to 6 months?
I think it's going to be very difficult. I think it's going to be great. Everyone that I've spoken to is really looking forward to going out. I think it's really positive that we can go out. I think that we're at the new stage of this particular virus. But I find that what we have to try and remember is that when we have had a drink, myself included, the way we would behave, the way we will distance, will be very different to what we're used to now. I think it's just trying to remember to maintain a certain level of order in that sense. It is difficult. We are going to be so excited. I know that, you know, my girlfriend, myself, friends of mine, we're all very much looking to the 4th of July, and it's nice to see that we have something to celebrate, and perhaps it'll be something we celebrated every year. But yeah, I just think we just need to be quite cautious about how we manage that and how we also deal with our expectations. I think the staffing that are on in the hospitality industry managing this situation, you know, they're going to be under a lot of strain, a lot of pressure. We need to be patient. We need to, you know, bear with and communicate, and it's going to be very different. But I'm positive. It's positive that we are now operating or able to operate. That may not include all hospitality businesses, but it does include a fair few.
Philip Jordan, Deputy Chair of Cheltenham Improvement District, thanks very much.
Thank you.